And he left me alone after that. It was the best thing ever. Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to MCU Mondays. I am your host, David. We are here talking about Marvel and whatever else pops into our heads. With me, as always, is my co host, Debbie. Debbie, how are you this evening?
I'm doing well.
You should be doing well. You've got like the next 3 weeks off.
Yeah, I actually got to sleep in today. That was nice.
I just
Kind of
got to
threw me
sleep in.
off though.
I got to sleep in until 7 o'clock.
More like 7:30, but hey, when you're
Yeah,
old, every minute counts. So
that's right. That's right. Also with us tonight is Andrew. How are you tonight, Andrew?
I'm doing well also.
Do you
now, is
have the
that the
next three
same
weeks off?
plant or is that a different one?
No, I moved my peace lily back. I had to move my rubber plant onto my plant stand so it'll get more sunlight from my window.
Oh, because I
'Cause,
was like, that one looks a little
yeah.
bit more perky.
Yeah, this is my peace lily.
Where's your where do you keep your cannabis?
My
I'm just
Keep
kidding.
it clean,
Just
Dave.
kidding.
Keep it clean.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You can't see it, but I've got a plant stand right behind me with like 10 other plants. All doing well. One rubber plant is not doing well. But
I wish I had a green thumb. I suck at plants.
I do. I kill plastic plants. That's how bad I am.
I do have a plastic plant in here somewhere.
I actually, my chia pet worked really well, so maybe that's like a start. I've got a chia pet around here somewhere. I need to restart it. Anyway, we're talking about Daredevil tonight, not Deadpool, Daredevil. And Debbie, I made a mistake again, and I just went ahead and watched the next episode as well.
Yeah,
Just
boy.
I know, and I was hating
Yeah, just
myself for
beware,
it.
people, listening audience. He's gonna get things
I
confused with the
may I
next
may
episode.
veer off and start talking about next week's episode, but
Yeah, and I'll have to reel him in.
just
Reel him in.
bear with me. It's all good. It's all good. But before we get started on that, how about if we run our theme song? Let's do that real quick. So cool. Thank you again, Chris, for putting that music, putting the voice to the music, giving us something to use there. Appreciate you all the time, always, Chris. If you don't know, at It's a Vase Productions on YouTube, he was kind of the founder of MC. He wasn't kind of. He was the founder of MCU Mondays, and he he made the song for us. So before he left, it was great. Loved it. Always nice to talk about him. So Daredevil. This episode, I've got to say, this episode was the Daredevil really wasn't in this episode very much. I mean, no, Matt Murdock was, but
Oh, okay.
but the
Like, did we watch the same episode?
yeah. No. Matt was in the episode. Don't get me wrong. Matt Murdock was in the Daredevil was not. Two different people, secret identities and whatnot.
Well, he was recovering from that
He got the holy
beat down he got the
Jesus
episode
out of him.
before.
Yeah. So, which I gotta say, um, just the cinematography of this episode was like amazing. Matt, when he woke up initially, when I watched that the first time, I was like, "Who is that?" They got And then as it kind of started coming into focus and he's opening his eyes and everything, oh geez, that's him. They did an awesome makeup job with him, and as far as making him look
Beat up.
like he had been through the ringer.
And then Foggy asks him, "Are you even really blind?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which and it was real funny because the one time he said, "How many fingers am I holding up?" I mean, even I was looking at it going, logic will tell you he's holding up one, and we all know which one that one is. So he's mad enough at him that you don't need to be blind or be able to see to know which finger he's holding up and know that he's holding up one finger. So that was kind of a given. It was almost like one of those ones where he probably looked at it and said, "Yeah, that was a dumb question." He knows. He knows. Everybody knows. But this was one of those episodes too. Like I watched it last night and then I watched it again today at work. And usually when I do stuff like that, it's just I'll turn it on and throw it in my pocket and listen to it on my headphones. But this was one of those episodes that was really cool because you really didn't need to watch it. I mean, there was nothing
There was no action. It was all
yeah, it was a lot of for lack of a better word, it was kind of an origin story, really. It was basically Matt recapping how he kind of came into his powers. He was filling Foggy in on not necessarily how he came into his powers, but how he dealt with them through college and everything.
and how him and Foggy met.
Exactly. How him
Yeah.
and Foggy got together and had started constructing their relationship. So
Foggy remembers hearing about him as a kid,
so
like,
Matt was already
so, yeah.
famous, if
Known.
you will.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
So and it again really good, just the dynamic between the two of them. We see them growing up through college. We see them going through college. They joined a law firm together. They decided to break out on their own. And all of this is told obviously through flashbacks. Foggy had all kinds of cool hair.
I like the long hair on him.
Oh, okay. It, let's see. I'm trying to think how my wife says it because she's after me to cut my hair too. Something about it being long and unkempt or ratty. I don't like the way it looks ratty. Looks like it needs a trim or something like that. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's getting cold outside. I need my winter coat.
Mm.
So anyway, but then too, just the way it transitioned to from Foggy, like him and Foggy being like the greatest of friends all through college, through because Foggy was ready to follow him through like anything. I mean, he
Mhm.
the law firm with him. He was like, "Look, I trust you. I know we're gonna do the right thing." And a lot of that probably had to do with the fact that what was it he said? He said, "You're about to graduate summa cum laude. You can take uh, you can take a night off, you nerd." And he said, "Well, you would probably graduate the same way if you had not taken a few nights off, kind of thing."
Mhm.
So he knows. So he knows Matt's smart. He knows Matt knows what's going on, and he trusts him. He knows which is all that much more. I can see where Foggy's coming from with the feeling of betrayal. Of it was I trusted you so much, and we were going to do all this really cool stuff and change the world, and then you go out and are beating the crap out of bad guys.
Mhm. And then he asked
Vigilante.
Matt, yeah. And then he asked Matt if he shot the cops and blew up those buildings, and Matt is hurt by that. Foggy's also mad that Matt told Claire, but he tells Foggy he didn't really have much of a choice. He had to explain. And then Karen calls on Matt's phone. They don't pick it up. And then she
Is this
calls
what
Foggy.
you do to? Is this what you do to
Yeah.
us when the neighborhood's being blown up
Mm-hmm.
and we can't find you? But they and Karen's got her own thing going on too, especially with Ben, because what?
I dislike her so much.
Oh,
Really?
why?
Oh, well, I know of a place that just opened up in upstate New York that's a nursing home that would be great
she
for your
was
wife.
tricking him. She knew she
Yeah,
had
I
ulterior
know.
motives. But she knew if she had said something else, he wouldn't have gone. She said, "Look, I found Fisk's mom. Let's go talk to him." He would have been like, "No," because at that point he had already given her the box with everything. He's like, "Here, I'm not even going to touch this."
And she just totally disregards that, knowing his wife is dying, but doesn't want him to give up on the story. And I'm like,
Hang on, I gotta turn my phone off. Hang on, I'm being yelled at. Okay, there we go. Now we'll go off. But she wants him in it though, I think, and I think with her, it's more of it's looking at it as the more people we have that can help us with this, the bigger the army we have, kind of thing. You know, there's more of us fight. The more people that know, the harder it's going to be, kind of thing. And if you
but his
lose,
wife is dying. He wants to spend, the
Mhm.
last few days, weeks, or whatever with his wife.
the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few,
It could have waited.
or the one.
Don't quote Star Trek to me.
The only good Star Trek movie. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not Into the Darkness?
No, no.
Wow. Okay.
I like them all.
We'll talk post-show.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, and they just, I mean, they basically lock themselves in their room at Matt's place, and he lies to Karen. Foggy lies to Karen. Yeah, Matt was in an accident, got hit by a car, blah 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 blah. Which all of this is gonna. I'm already reeling myself in because the next episode, when they there's a lot of talk of, you guys need to hash this out and figure out what's going on with you two, because we don't like it when you fighting. There's 2 or 3 people that say that in the next episode. So,
Not you.
Brady Bunch.
you waved at me.
Waving at my son Andrew.
But I'm down here.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
Hey, it's all right. I don't know. I'd probably been old if I had you.
Anyway, where am I? They're fighting with each other. We're getting flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
We got the mention of the nurse. Oh, she's hot.
But of course, you already knew that.
You already knew that. Are you really blind? And he
Mm-hmm.
kind of tries to explain how
He
things
says
work
in a manner of speaking, which,
from a certain point of
Mhm.
view.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. From a certain
Yeah.
point of view. Yeah.
In a man,
Legally or actually?
honestly, the way that it was described in the movie, in the Daredevil movie, the way he said, you know, I hear it's almost like echolocation, and it paints a picture in my mind, kind of thing. And when he takes her up on the roof and it's the rain falling on her so that he can, I
Mhm.
like that explanation. I thought that was great. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, that you know, I hear all the different raindrops and they're all coming from different, and it kind of gives me a 3D image of Jennifer Garner, but yeah, same thing. And the
It
heartbeat.
was also
Okay, he said um he asked her about the heart, or he asked him about the heartbeat and him listening to the heart. Oh, I knew that, and that's how you know Karen wasn't lying. That's invasive and everything else. And I'm like, but is it? I mean, really, is it? Because if he can hear it, if
it's not
that's
his
just,
fault.
yeah, I know, right? So is
Hmm.
that invasive to say, oh, well, I know you're not lying, or I know you are lying because I can
He's
hear
not
you
going out
No.
of his way to do it, so it's not invasive.
I
It's
mean, you can
not.
look at a person, some if their eyes are dilating or if they're sweating
Hmm.
or fidgety. I mean, that's all part of being
Or if
observant as a
someone has taken a phone call in public on speakerphone and you hear what they're saying, and they go, "You're listening to my phone call." You go, well, I mean, not choosing to, but
Yeah.
put it
you know,
on, don't put it on
yeah.
speakerphone.
So
So I mean, he made that argument, and I was just like, yeah, it's kind of a gray area, but no, I don't think so.
Well, Foggy is he's just taking it all out on Matt. And probably rightfully so. I mean, he has been lied to, and it happens in all superhero movies. I mean,
mhm.
when in Smallville, when Clark finally tells, or the friends finally figure out who he really is, some of them get really pissed off and others are okay with it. But yeah, it happens to all of them,
No,
Well, you've
not
lied to me all my life.
not Spider-Man, because Spider-Man had Ned, and Ned was all kinds of excited about it, and he was like, "Ooh, I want to be your guy in the chair. Can I be your guy in the chair?"
Yeah,
He was excited.
I'm.
He's like, "Oh, you're a
Yeah,
hero! Great! Now I'm in a whole new world, baby."
I love the part in Homecoming where he's caught by the teacher in the school computer room, and she goes, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm looking at porn."
I'm looking at porn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it doesn't always work to the negative, and sometimes it works great. And honestly, I had honestly kind of pegged Foggy to be one of these ones to where he would be like, I mean, he doesn't like Daredevil, but I don't know. I kind of thought that this is you. Okay, that's really cool. I see what you're doing here. Okay, it makes sense to me. I don't know. I just
Yeah, but this whole time Matt's been preaching, no, we'll do it by the law, and blah, or by the book, blah blah blah, and then here he is,
listen to what I'm saying, but don't watch what my hand is
right.
doing.
So it's kind of a double standard. I don't think Foggy likes that. So
Well, and I think too, and especially if this had been me, like if I had a friend from college and I'd known him for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden, and this may be probably where his biggest betrayal comes from, and then all of a sudden I find out, okay, he's really a superhero and he kicks the crap out of bad guys at night, and I would look at it and say, this is big. I thought I was your best friend. I thought that I was
Mhm.
somebody that you confide in, kind of thing. And in fact, it even went so far as to say, like when they were graduating, he asked if all of Foggy's family was going to be there. Now, in my mind,
Mhm.
because we knew Matt's parents were both dead, he had been in an orphanage, he had been trained by Stick, and I'll get to Stick in a minute because that was really funny too. But he had been trained by Stick. Matt didn't have a family. And so the fact that he and Foggy had been friends for all of these years through college, he probably I'm going to assume that he had met Foggy's parents at some point. He probably has met Foggy's family at some point, and he probably considers Foggy, because Foggy is his best friend, he probably considers them family, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And Foggy being of that mind of, you've met my family, it's almost like we're brothers. Why have you not told me about this?
Mhm.
Why am I having to find out this way about this?
Like, if you can't trust me, who can you trust? Kind
Yeah,
of thing. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
I wanted to be the guy in the chair, but anyway. So I think that's, and then of course you had the whole thing with Stick, and that was hilarious. Wait a minute, you were trained in ancient martial arts by an old blind guy. That's literally the plot to Kung Fu.
Yes, grasshopper.
And when he says, uh, uh, yeah, I think he's a ninja. Oh, great, a ninja. I was like, oh yes, a ninja. Um,
What about the Fisk scene with Gal? You know, the
I,
story about the
I,
snake and the elephant.
I, I want to say that he. I don't know. I think he was looking at that backwards because he said he was the
Mm-hmm.
snake, kind of biting off more than you can chew, kind of thing. But I think she was insinuating that he's the elephant, and he's gonna have snakes that are going to try and stop him. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just
Mm,
me. Don't look at me like that. I can have
Yeah.
my own interpretation of the thing.
no, that's fine. I'm just
No.
saying
Yeah.
I look at it as he's the snake because he is just way too ambitious. And just like she said,
Mm-hmm.
you can't be savior and oppressor. You can't be shadow and light.
Yeah.
See, he's just
And
trying to go, he's trying to be anything and everything, and that's not how it works. You have to be one or the other.
mm-hmm. And he goes on to make excuses for Nobu's death, trying to say he volunteered for the task and that he hasn't found his body.
No,
Uh,
they were asking about
or,
Matt's body
or Matt,
Matt's
Matt,
or
body.
Matt's
the
body. My
masked
bad. Yeah,
man. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry,
'Cause
Masked Man's body. My
yeah,
bad.
they knew Nobu had
Or they
been
knew. Yeah.
Because they
crispy
were making
fried.
preparations already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
They,
think Gao, she's a smart cookie. She's pretty spot on with how she sees things.
she's a smart cookie, but I'm still. I don't know.
Fisk tells her that she has his respect, so that's got to count for something, you know.
I look at it as I at this point I have no reason to fear her, and I don't know, maybe Fisk does, but I'm just like, get rid of her. What does she got? What is she doing? Nothing. She tries to intimidate you with words. Get rid of her.
Mm,
Take your take your spot at the top, kind of thing.
and yeah, I think she's more dangerous than
Because really,
she lets on, the little old lady who
Mhm.
barely
really
can
what it
walk.
boils down to is the fact that they're basically they're grooming King they're grooming Fisk to become the head honcho, the big guy, the top dog or whatever. But how are you going to do that without taking out your opponents? And if that includes the people who got you to the top, one to have the power and the other to crave it, if I may quote Star Wars. So,
Very Sithy.
yeah.
She also pointed out how Fisk used to be of singular mind, but now that he's pulled in two directions because of Vanessa,
Mhm.
the love of his life, you could say, and that there's that conflict within him, kind of like you were saying, Debbie, about being the savior and oppressor. He can't do both. He has to pick one. Choose wisely, or others shall choose for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, and then of course you had the scene at the end with uh where he's at the, I guess, the fundraiser, and God help me, Leland.
Mhm.
Leland is such a little wiener. He really is. And it really comes out, they don't go to the hospital till the next episode, right? Or was it this one that they were that they landed at the hospital?
Mm-mm. Not this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, it was the next one. He really comes out as a wiener in the next episode. It's just, I really wanted to just, and I'm sure Fisk probably did too. I just really wanted to punch him just because of the way he was. I was holding some. Should I be checked out too? Somebody check me out. And I'm like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He didn't
You're
even
fine.
drink any.
I know, right?
No.
And this
Yeah.
is all in the
As
next
soon as he
episode.
saw,
I know.
as soon as he saw Vanessa collapse, he just drops his
He dropped
glass
it.
to the floor. Yeah. I mean, if anything, it got on your shoes, but that's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, Leland's, of course, throughout this whole season, he's just one big weasel.
He really is, and he's just
Mhm.
not. He's very
Well,
he's
he
a real,
thinks he's all that, and really he's not. He's just the book guy. He's,
and he's
he
a
takes
real
care of
negative
covering
Nancy about
tracks.
everything too. I mean, nothing is right for him. It's just you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, blah 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 blah, and it's like it's getting done, isn't it? Just shut up and let him do it. Come on.
Like he could do any better.
Yeah, I know, right?
Can you imagine? No.
Nope. He had Andy Dufresne do it for him in the Shawshank Redemption. He still couldn't even do it. So
Very true.
Have we talked about yet when Ben's at the hospital with his wife, and like she wakes up and he's talking about his most recent story in their life together,
Mhm.
and then her mind seems to go blank, and she's suddenly surprised to see him, and then he finds out that the extension he had applied for, like he it doesn't get accepted, and he has to explore other options for her care. That was sad to see and watch.
Yeah, I think she's got, I don't know, she's got some kind of cancer, I believe. I don't know what kind. I don't know if it's something that's affecting her brain or if she just has dementia.
well, and it's the same kind of thing too that Wilson's mom demonstrates as well. Because they walk in and she says, "Oh, is it that time?" And they're like, "For time for what?" She's like, "Oh, we do this every night before." "Oh, you're not the same person." And then they're talking to her, and somewhere in the midst of the conversation, "Is it this time again?" And it was like she just kind of
They're in a loop.
rebooted kind of thing. So
They're lucid for a short period of time, and
yeah,
then, they get distracted, and the next thing they don't know who you are or what you're talking
they're
about.
back to where they remembered from, and
Mhm.
if that was 10 minutes ago or 2 minutes ago. So yeah, that one was that's rough too, especially if you've had that happen to, because that's one of those things where it's like that's real. You've got you're dealing with a comic book and him doing all the flips and everything, him getting cut to crap with that knife sword thing or whatever. That's pretty much a what do they call it, like a suspension of belief, to where it's like he's probably gonna bleed out and die, but we're gonna think that maybe you're gonna suspend your belief for a minute and he'll be okay. And like the Home Alone movies are prime examples of that. I was reading an article on that, and it's the Home Alone 2, like all the injuries like added up to like millions of dollars. They died like twice, two or three times. Like when he was throwing the bricks down off the, this was Home Alone 2, so he's throwing the bricks down off the roof and it's hitting him in the head, and it's like it's gonna fracture his skull and damage his brain. He's going to die. But anyway, so I mean, you've got the suspension of belief, but then you look at things like that where it's dementia and it's affecting someone, and that's real, and especially for people um that have that in their lives, that have maybe a family member that's going through that. That's really rough. So just seeing it, and then you really feel for Ben too, because there's nothing else he can do. I think he even said at some point, uh, um, I can't afford to send her anywhere, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna stay at home with her basically. So
Which is why it was selfish for Karen to pull him right back in.
but his wife told him, she said, "You are a reporter." Well, maybe like 30 years ago. No, you're a reporter and that's what you do. You are Ben
Mhm.
Ulrich and you are a reporter. Is that Ulrich? Is that right?
Uric,
Ulrich. Yeah, you
I
are
don't
Ben
care.
Ulrich.
If you know you have a family member dying, someone that close to you, someone who is your other half, I don't care what your job is.
Mhm. Well, and then before Karen comes in, he's in his office looking at folders about hospice care. That's when Ellison, is that how you say his name? Yeah, offered him an editorial position
At
for
the
a different
Metro.
section of the newspaper. Yeah, that had better benefits. And
Oh
then
my gosh, the
Karen
chat's
comes
going
in.
nuts and I'm not even paying attention. Debbie. I, oh,
Huh?
It's
never mind.
private chat,
That's
Oh, it's
private,
private chat. Oh.
dingling.
and it'll stay that way.
We're having a conversation here, Andrew and I.
Yeah, conversation within a conversation.
Mhm.
Hang on, I'm putting my 2 cents in right now.
I thought about talking about it, but I was like, I don't know if that'd
Yeah,
be.
same thing.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
All right, so now that's the private chat.
Sorry for the
Too
confusion,
bad you guys
people,
don't get
but
to see that one. Maybe one day we'll release a blooper reel, but not today. Uh, anyway, this honestly, this was I really liked this episode just because um, there was so much character development to it as well. I mean, you saw Matt and Matt. Matt even said, I tried not to fight. I didn't want to fight because of the way that or because I promised my father I wouldn't fight, and I didn't want to. It was never my intention. And then he tells the story of being able to hear and that one was rough too. Good
Little
lord,
girl.
a little girl down a couple of blocks away or whatever, and the dad, and then he went and found the dad, and the dad ended up spending 2 weeks drinking through or 2 months drinking through a straw or something like that.
A month.
Okay.
Yeah, he spent the next
Mhm.
month drinking through a straw.
Or eating through a straw. Yes. You always drink through a straw. But but and it was just the kind of thing where it was like, and he even asked him too. He was like, have you ever gone that far? Have you ever, cuz they were talking about the junkie that
Mm.
that
Mhm.
that killed the friend, and he was like, no, I didn't do that. And okay, well, have you ever gone that far? And he was honest with me. He was like, no, I've never gone that far. Thought about it.
Mhm.
I almost
So,
did,
yeah,
but I didn't. That's
yeah,
obviously karma caught me. I thought about it. I was going to, and then I got the holy living bejesus beat out of me.
yeah.
So look what it cost me, kind of thing. So, which again, does at this point does Foggy believe him?
That's true.
Because this is a big lie that I say a big lie. It's not really a lie. It's just a failure to disclose the truth. Would that be a good way
Mhm.
to put it? He's not really lying to him. He's never even asked him about it. He's just
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I
because
I guess you could call it lying because it's kind of a big deal, but at the same time, Foggy never asked. But it's like, why would Foggy ask? Like,
Yeah.
you know, so
yeah, well, yeah, because Foggy's made his feelings known about the
Mhm.
vigilante, and Matt never said anything.
Yeah.
I think there was 2 or 3 times he could have said something or pulled him aside. But, here you got the superhero dilemma, if I let people close to me know, that can put them in danger. But yet, they would I think for the
Which is
most
real funny
part.
because none of that mattered throughout the entire MCU until Spider-Man. Until we got to Spider-Man, everybody knew that everybody in the world, Tony Stark got up in the first movie, I am Iron Man. Okay, you
I
just
think sometimes it's all about the
blew it.
right moment to say something like that. And I think it's easy when you have that, like for Matt to just be like, "Oh, I'll push it off again. I'll wait." And then something like this ends up happening, and it's not the way you want Foggy to find out, but it's the way he did, and so
Where'd you get all this stuff? Internet. I thought you what did it, I thought you tight guys sewed all your own uniforms. I don't know how to sew. He's honest. But we'll find out next episode too. He's gonna go get himself a new uniform because, like I said, I watched the next episode and it was great too. This one was good and that one was good too.
Yeah, I remember when this first initially came out, people were calling this episode filler, which I think people tend to do that when there's not pew pews, or it's not
Mhm.
constant
It's not the Michael. It's
action.
not the Michael Bay.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no ass kicking or anything like that. And so, when it's character building or
Story building things like
story
that.
building, world building, whatever,
Mhm.
then people are like, "Oh my god, this is a filler episode. I hate filler episodes."
That's why That's why you either thoroughly loved Andor or you liked about 1/3 of Andor.
I loved Andor.
I thought
I
it was
did
Thought
too.
great.
Yeah,
It was
I
it was
enjoyed
great.
it.
2 or 3 episodes of world building, character building, and
Mhm.
then
It was like every
then
3
a pew
episodes was an
pew.
arc,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I enjoyed Andor. One
So
way out.
I need to
That's a
watch that
sad
again.
episode.
I need to watch that again.
One thing I was just thinking about Karen with Ben and Debbie, I can kind of agree with you here where Karen was in a tough position because she had to get Ben to come, but she was a little misleading with the nursing home, and saying like, "Oh, there's a nursing home I can take you to look at," and then gets in there. Oh, by the way, Fisk's mom is here. Let's go interview her. It's like, oh, what about my wife?
Treachery.
Yeah.
Screw your wife.
Now
Mm.
and
Oh,
now
yeah.
something and I've never dealt with a nursing home, so I don't know. But
I
if
have.
okay, so it is 9 o'clock at night right now
Hmm.
here in the Texas area. It's 9 o'clock, 9:15. If I was to go to a nursing home right now at 9:15, would they be able
No,
to let me in and say, "Oh yes, we're
no,
admissions can give you a tour here in just a few minutes"?
no.
No, from my
That
experience, I was gonna say real quick, from my experience, it's only on an emergency, like if they would let you
They
pass
do it
visiting hours. But
right.
they just if you're just coming like, oh, I just want to see
Tour
my
the
family member, they're
facility.
like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
somebody will be with you
yeah.
shortly. I'm like,
mm-mm.
No, there's
uh-uh,
there's
I
usually a
don't buy
cutoff.
that.
Unless they're like
Yeah,
on death's door, like unless they're dying or they have died, they don't let you in unless past visiting hours, I should say.
yeah,
Past.
exactly. Because my dad was in a nursing home, and when he started to, when he was first in the nursing home, we would go every Saturday, and of course, there's only certain hours you could go. But then when he was on the decline, we would get a call from the doctors saying, gather everybody up.
Get up here
And
quick.
so, we were allowed to stay there as long as we wanted. I mean, as long as we weren't, Dad had a private room. So as long as we weren't disturbing, the other rooms or anything. And there's our family's big. I mean, there was 8 of us. So, there was quite a few kids and then their spouses, and depending on the ages of my kids weren't there because they were very young, but my older brothers and sisters, their kids are older than me. Yeah, it's a weird situation, but yeah, we were
Wow.
there.
So your potential nieces and nephews are older than you.
Yes.
Oh,
Huh.
well, I guess that is my
Yeah.
grandparent is the youngest of 5. My grandfather, so he's like 5 years older than some of his nieces and nephews. So
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I can see that. I had some friends that it was a different situation to where their oldest daughter had a kid, and her aunt at that point was like 5 years older than she was. So those 2 kids were almost the same age, but
I
one
have
was an aunt,
nieces
one was a
who
niece.
are at least 2 nieces who are right about my age. My oldest sister, she's 90 something.
Holy smokes!
My oldest sister, yeah.
Wow.
yeah, my grandfather, when he was born, his oldest sister was 15, so he was an uncle at 5. By 5, he was already an uncle. So
Yes, I was an aunt by the time I was 11, 12.
Wow.
Probably even younger than that because of the older nieces and nephews.
I'm the oldest, so
yeah, I'm the oldest.
don't
I'm not
have
an uncle yet. I'll just I'm not an
I
uncle
was
yet.
I was the baby of the family. I was a boo-boo. I
a
came
boo-boo
along
as in,
10 to 12 years
oops.
after my other brothers,
Yeah.
so
My
As
parents
in,
had a 5-year plan.
Mom and Dad got frisky one night and had a little too much of the.
something happened.
Yeah.
My mom was 41 when she had me. Dad was probably close to his late 50s, early 60s, maybe. My dad was born in 1908.
Holy smokes!
Well, wow. Yeah, my parents had a 5-year plan. They wanted to be married 5 years before they had any kids. They made it 3 before they had me. So, yeah.
I didn't
My
make it
mom
that
was 24 when I was born, almost 25. So it's kind of cool. When I turn 25, she'll turn 50. So it'll be
Wow.
a cool year for us.
I think I got married when I was 25. My wife
I was in my early 20s, and then I had 3 kids. I was still in my 20s. Of course, now they're all in their 30s.
Oh, I've got
Early to mid. Yeah, 32, 34. No, wait. 31, 33, 35.
I've even got an anniversary coming up on Sunday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, my mom was in her 20s for all my 2 sisters and I. But my dad was, I think, 30 when I was born, 30 or 31, something like that. Wow.
I wanted my kids young because my mom passed away when I was 13, and I wanted my kids young to enjoy them and be around, because I figured I probably wouldn't live long. Yeah, my side of my mom's side, well, both sides of the family don't tend to. Both of my brothers closest to me in age both died around 60, so and I'll be 60 in a couple weeks.
All this lovely talk about family.
Yeah. my family. I'm the only one left alive.
Now, I want to
Kidding.
get back to Daredevil because there's one other thing I want to
Yeah.
talk about when we the poisoning of everybody
Mhm.
Fundraiser.
at the fundraiser. Yeah,
Mhm.
it just how did she survive? Everybody else
Great
was
medical care.
everybody else was dying. Well, but that's the thing is it wasn't
Yeah,
great
no, I don't
medical
know.
care
Yeah.
because they took her to the hospital and like this is a rat trap hospital. It's like this is the closest one they had.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
How did she survive?
Did she fake it? Just put one of those pills in her mouth and bit down on it
Marvel magic.
to make her foam at the mouth like everybody else was doing?
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't
Yeah,
remember. It's been
that's a
so
good
long since
point.
I've seen this series, so it's brand new to me.
That is true though. Like it was to poison everyone else, and they staged it for her, so that it didn't look like, that they were trying to poison everyone but her. That's.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Do we eventually learn who did it?
Well, he sends what's his name after him in the next episode. I don't remember.
Wesley?
It's been a-
Leland or Wesley?
Oh, not
Wesley.
Leland. What the hell's he gonna
Leland.
do?
Leland. Leland's not gonna do crap. What are you talking about? Leland.
He'll just walk around the corner real quick and then come back. I did it, sir.
I looked everywhere. No, that would be Wesley.
Wesley, yeah, my bad. Names morph sometimes for me, so.
Oh,
So-
wait till you get old.
Yeah.
Then they really do.
At
Then
least
you
I didn't
start
say
calling-
Leslie.
Yeah. Then you start calling people Karen like Rachel or something like that.
Or you run through all
Yeah.
your kids' names before you get to the right one.
Oh, I do that.
My mom will,
constantly.
yeah. Oh, yeah. My mom will do that. She'll name, the name of a dog she met 14 years ago, neighbors' kids, my sister's names. I go, come again? I'm not, that's
You know
not my
who
name.
you are.
Yeah. Or when she's getting on my dad, she'll go, Drew, Robert. I'm like, hey,
Wait a minute.
didn't you say my name first?
What was it Bill Cosby said? What is your name, boy? And don't you lie to me because you live here. I'll find out what your name is.
Well, my of course, my youngest son's name is Andy, and then my oldest son's name is Matt. And I tend when Andy walks into a room, I don't do this all the time, but there are times where I'll start to say Matt, and I'll be going Andy. Andy.
Oh, you just gave me an eye. Next time you wave, I'm gonna holler real loud. Hi, Matt.
Oh Lord.
Debbie, did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
What about the conversation with Fisk's mom and Ben and Karen? I can't remember. Did we get to that at all?
I mean,
I know there's not a whole lot to it.
there's not a
but-
lot of meat there. It was basically it boils
Yeah.
down to they find out that Fisk has been lying about things. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they definitely didn't know that he killed his dad, but
Yeah.
well,
because
he had said
that
it, I think he said at some point his mom was dead, and the fact that his mom was
That's right.
still
Yeah.
alive.
well, she was under a different name too. Her was it third husband's last name?
I think so. Mrs. Bistian.
Vis-
Bistain. Bistain.
Visant?
I kept his name because it sounded
Vistain.
like royalty.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I don't know who was talking about. I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before that where they were talking about, or maybe it was us talking about how, of course the cops couldn't figure out what happened to his dad because they had chopped him up and
threw him in the
Even if they
river
found pieces of him, they would have assumed it was a mob hit of some sort. So
since he was in debt to them.
Mhm.
And Ben will find out more about that in the next episode. But I'm not gonna say that.
Come back
Um,
next week.
Come back next week and we'll
Yeah.
talk about it. Okay, did we miss anything else?
My bad. Sorry.
That's okay.
and outside
I
the
asked if
fact
we missed
that
anything.
um you know, Foggy walks out, goes to the office, throws the sign
Mhm.
that he just had made
Oh,
into the trash, and he walks out with his box of stuff. He's had
with
it.
I bet there were bagels in there. I'm gonna take as many bagels as I can fit in this box because I don't know what I'm gonna eat next.
Now, is this where he goes to work at that fancy schmancy law firm? Law firm.
I think so. Yeah.
Not
Or is
not
that next week?
not to give anything away, but I'll give something away. Next week he will wake up in bed with
Ah, that's what
the
I thought.
blonde.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, Foggy.
So
Disappointed.
yeah. Karen is
I
good
just thought
for
of,
you, Foggy. I know Debbie doesn't like him, but
I just thought of a funny quote between when Foggy and Matt are talking, and Foggy goes, "Me and you, Maverick and Goose, no secrets." And then Matt goes, "Goose died, and he was married."
Yeah.
oh, and
That's what I
the
just love that.
avocados. We're gonna be the
Oh,
best
yeah.
avocados in the
Yeah.
city. That was a good one.
Yeah, he was drunk.
Foggy's funny when he's drunk.
hmm
Okay, shameless plugs. What do we got tonight, Debbie?
I really don't know. I haven't heard anything about Sith Dominion, but they've
I
got
think
some
they're back.
packed up.
I,
Are
I,
they
I,
back tomorrow?
I think so. I'm not for 100% sure, but I think they're back tomorrow.
So
Okay, so for those of you watching real quick, there's probably going to be a lot of they're not having a show tonight kind of things going on, especially with the holidays coming because people have things going. So don't be too disappointed if there's nothing happening on the night that you like to watch your show. Just go back and watch one of the previous shows. So just as a heads up. Um, but we'll
it's
have
the
Tuesday.
holiday. We all have a life, or at least most
Yeah,
of us.
not Debbie. She just likes to sit on her couch and watch movies.
That's me. I'm a hermit. Unless it's my kids, then
So
Geek news now. We have a life.
yes. So Tuesday, I think, is the Sith Dominion. I'm fairly certain they're back. Wednesday is our Geek News Now holiday special. It's gonna be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. This is it's gonna be myself and Debbie, and then Janae and William, and possibly Kat from the Geek Gauntlet, and Dr. Dana Martin from Sith Dominion, and we're all going to sit and discuss. This is all going to happen Wednesday night, 8:30 Central Standard Time, and we are going to sit and talk about our favorite.
unconventional Christmas movies.
That's a good way to put it. That's a great way to put it. And the biggest one that everybody talks about is Die Hard. So come join our conversation. Let us know what you think. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie or is it not? We're going to talk about more than just Die Hard, though. I've got some really
Oh
cool
yeah,
ones
there's
on
a
my
list
list.
of them. Yeah.
There's stuff you wouldn't think about. I found one the other day. I happened to be watching something and I was like, oh, there's another one. Oh, I'm excited now. So I happened to find one, and it's probably on somebody's list somewhere, and that's fine. But I was excited because I found it. And then Thursday we're back with The Mandalorian season 2. We've got 2 episodes left.
Yeah, the next one is The Believer.
The Believer. This one's the Bill Burr episode. This one's the one that everybody likes. Everybody likes this episode.
Yep.
And then Saturday will be Geek Gauntlet. And then MCU Mondays back here next Monday. All this time. So from now until December the 24th, I'll be doing the live build at some point during the day. Go back and you can check out. I've done the first 11 already. In fact, I did the other one about 3 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah, because I was looking for it. I was like, has he not done it yet today?
I did it today. I did it.
They're fun to watch. I like them.
It was about 7 o'clock. I was like, we got about an hour and a half. We'll see you in about an hour and a half.
I was watching Christmas Vacation at that time, so.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Burn and dust and eat my rubber.
This will be the happiest Christmas.
Look, kids, a deer.
I actually watched Ben Crosby tap dance with Danny Kaye last night.
I watched that yesterday
That
afternoon.
is not a Christmas movie.
It is so.
No, it's not. We'll hold till Wednesday. We'll fight about this on Wednesday.
Are you talking about White Christmas?
The other night.
I'm talking about White Christmas.
Oh my God, how can you say that is not a Christmas movie?
Because it has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas. The only thing that has to do with Christmas is that 1944, the beginning of the movie, takes place at Christmas overseas, and the end of the movie, 10 years later, 1954, takes place. They get together at Christmas to honor the general. The rest of it has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas. Nothing. Watch it again. Watch it again and tell me I'm wrong.
I did. I watched it yesterday.
I watched it yesterday too. Tell me I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
No, I'm not. What was that, Andrew? I'm sorry. We're arguing with each other.
And then I guess Toy Story isn't one because it's just the ending scene is Christmas.
But you know what's funny about that is that what brought this whole I want to do a holiday episode on was that Freeform, which used to be ABC Family, when they would do the countdown to Christmas and the 25 days of Christmas, which was when they play all the holiday specials. One of the holiday movies that they played all the time was the Harry Potter movies. And I asked somebody once, and I was like, "Why is Harry Potter a Christmas movie? That makes absolutely no." Well, it's got a Christmas scene in it. I'm like, 5 minutes out of a 2.5 hour movie does not make it a Christmas movie. I'm sorry. That's just not.
I think there's only one Harry movie that actually where they show Christmas. Yeah, that's the only one. I mean, outside of the fact that came out around Thanksgiving.
Actually,
that's it.
No. There, I know for a fact that 6 has a Christmas scene in it because he goes home to the Weasley's house for Christmas.
That's right.
Two or three of them have Christmas scenes.
Yeah, that's true. Sorcerer's Stone has the most obvious this is Christmas.
Because
I don't know if I'd consider them Christmas.
Yeah, him and Jenny have that awkward.
But anyway, that was the whole thing was that they were okay. This is a Christmas. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Well, it has a Christmas. And I was like, okay, then Die Hard's a Christmas movie. No, it's not. That's it takes
Die
place
Hard
at a Christmas party.
I know. Yeah.
What? What is wrong with you?
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug. Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho. Come on. Christmas movie. So anyway, you get the idea now. This is what we're going to be talking about and discussing. It's going to be a lot of fun just because I like doing this and we like to make each other's blood boil. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah,
so
probably lots of arguments and cussing and
like a Christmas Vacation.
Might get hurt. I don't know.
There's going to be a rant. There will be a rant like in Christmas Vacation when he's going off about his bonus. Someone is going to rant like that. Maybe not. That's violent.
Christmas Vacation's not a Christmas movie because it doesn't take place on Christmas. It ends on Christmas Eve.
This is true.
I guess you could argue Home Alone then isn't because it ends on Christmas.
No, it does end on Christmas. It ends on Christmas Day. Yeah.
So, well, yeah. So, I don't know. Christmas Vacation it's got Christmas in the title.
So does White Christmas, but it's not a Christmas
Oh,
movie.
that's true. What kind of vacation is he on? Christmas. Okay, people.
go.
So Debbie's on Christmas vacation right now. Okay. So
Yeah.
there was a movie
Damn
about her life
straight,
taking
damn
place
straight.
right now.
So Debbie, are you gonna
Debbie's
do your
Christmas
house
Vacation.
up in a gazillion lights and
No, I don't do any of that. I don't even have
do
a
the
Christmas tree.
sledding and have cousin
No.
Eddie come and
Nope.
empty his recreational vehicle into your storm sewer?
That there's an RV. Don't get too attached to it when we leave it with us next month. Bring it with us next month.
I don't like the idea of just a piece of government plastic between my brain and the ground. Plus, if it gets messed up, that's where my hair parts. And if my hair parts wrong,
Or the quote, Eddie, if I woke up with my head sewn into the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now. So many awesome quotes from that movie.
If that cat had 9 lives, that went through all of them right at once.
Yeah.
Poor
That's
Is your
kitty.
cat by chance like Jello? I don't know about the cat, but I'm sure enjoying it.
Save the neck for me, Clark. Okay, Eddie. Where's Eddie? He usually eats these things. Oh no, he's cut back on them since he found out they're high in cholesterol. All right, that's gonna be it for us. We'll end on a happy note. Merry Christmas. Speaking of happy notes, so next week, the 18th, and is MCU Mondays, and we'll be there for that. Then the 21st is Star Wars Thursday. Not Star Wars Thursdays. Cantina Happy Hour. You know what I mean. Star Wars Saturdays. No, I'm just kidding. So Cantina Happy Hour is on the 21st, and then the week of the 25th, nothing. I'm taking that week off. And in fact, we won't be back for Cantina Happy Hour until January the 4th. So we won't have an MCU Monday on Christmas Day or on New Year's Day. So we'll be here next week. 2 weeks after that, nothing. And when we do come back after that, we're going to do one more well, we're going to do something on that day, but then Echo starts. So we'll have the new series to play with and look at, and it's going to be a lot of fun kicking the new year off with a new MCU movies. But you won't know about any of that unless you hit that like and subscribe button. Debbie, are our links downstairs?
Yes, they are downstairs.
Oh,
By me.
Yep,
They're
they're
down there.
below Andrew.
Yeah. So click the link, like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you know when we do go live. We will see you all next week. And we'll see you all on Wednesday for the Geek News Now holiday episode, and we'll see you again on Thursday. We'll see all y'all later. Bye.